coming to Comic-Con is always, it's like getting a shot of adrenaline.
Even though we do a lot of conventions every year, this is like the Super Bowl.
What? Please welcome executive producer and showrunner of Supernatural, Mr. Bob Singer, Jensen Ackles, the showrunner, Andrew Dabb. Next up, a man whose hair is getting its own spin-off series, Mr. Jared Padalecki.
We were like, this is amazing.
Take a minute.
What a journey, Bubba.
It's a lot.
Holy cat.
Wow. Guys, congratulations on another amazing season. Season 12.
Thanks.
Amazing. Loved it.
Yeah.
But seriously, I mean, this is a hell of a year this has been. Unbelievable season. So much craziness.
What were your favorite episodes of this season?
12 and 20.
Those are the ones you directed.
Yep. Those are what I directed. You got a favorite, Robbo?
The other 21.
You're a jerk.
No, seriously, the finale. I thought the finale was amazing.
Yeah.
The finale was.
How about that finale?
Congratulations on surviving in the finale. You're the only two.
Yeah, we're the only two.
Yeah.
It was a bloodbath.
Yeah. So yeah, it really was. I mean, Rowena's toast.
She's literally toast.
Yeah, toast. And Crowley sacrificed.
Yeah.
And Mom is locked in another dimension with Lucifer.
Kind of a dream date scenario.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Castiel. I gotta. I just.
Buddy.
I gotta do this.
Buddy.
I gotta do this. Bobby.
Yeah.
Did you really kill Castiel?
You know, we have said over the course of time, and one thing that keeps the show fresh and why we've gone into our 13th season is we say when we write these things that you have to go where the story takes you. And Andrew and myself and the other writers, we thought that perhaps Castiel's time had come. Wait. Frankly, and I think the guys will back me up on this, Misha had become a bit of a prima donna. Wanted to be number one on the call sheet. That's it.
So sorry, guys. I guess I was back there, but they never told me to come out. But I heard my name, so I assume.
This is awkward.
Well, this just got really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just you wanna stop it on? You wanna keep crossing and go off that?
Oh no, I'm tired. I'll just rest right here.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, now I guess maybe we should just ask him. What's
Yeah.
it like to not be on the show anymore?
Yeah.
Look. Misha's
He's excited.
They
seems
just
confused.
had to take the story where it went, but I'm not going away. So
That's
So you have him. He's just gonna drop by set, do craft services, that kind of thing.
yeah.
yeah. It's
That's nice.
that's called stalking in America. Well,
Clearly, Misha is here and he's going to be back, but he is a prima donna.
I will say, now that Misha's on stage, there are a few people that love you, but there was a really, so for the first time in 13 years, Ackles and I were like, we're not going to wait backstage while Kansas plays. We want to be in the audience. So they snuck us way into the back corner so we could watch while Kansas was playing. And a lovely young lady who was back there, and you know who you are, got up and started dancing, and then she's like, turns over, and here's Misha, and she's like, hey, will you take my, oh my God! Hey, will you take a full-on sort of like, I'm a Misha Migo.
well, she has that experience, but now there's a whole bunch of people in the back corner going, "Wait a minute!
Are you telling
Wait
me?
a minute! Jared Jensen and Misha were behind me." Ah! Gotta kill myself. Bobo.
Richie.
So let's talk about
wait, so
something that's actually
season,
relevant to the
Season
show.
13, after that finale, what's the plan from here? Where do you go from there?
Well, episode 1, Castiel dies.
Yeah.
I'll let Andrew handle that one.
Sure. Well, I think for us, season 12, by the end of season 11, when Mom comes back, season 12, the guys kind of had the happiest situation they could have. Mom's back, all the friends are alive, they saved the world without having to sacrifice each other. And season 12 was...
You really messed that up, didn't you? Just killed everybody.
Yeah, and then season 13, we're like, well, that was a horrible idea. Like, too much, everybody's nice, and who wants that? So then we just murder, which is really what the show's based on. It's just multiple serial homicides that everyone in this audience is witness to and probably will be indicted for. But that's a longer conversation.
You're all colluding.
That's right. This is collusion.
There's something great about listening to Andrew talk seriously about the show while in the monitor, teeny tiny little Misha sits next to him at the kids' table.
That's right. I like it.
Can we talking to the producers here, can we make this happen on set? Can he have just a little chair? No more big cast
I didn't know he was allowed to sit. I thought, contractually speaking, he was standard.
But so listen, one of the big characters we saw at the end of the season, we saw Lucifer. He got himself a little boy, has a son, Jack. Now this, we see this character very briefly, curled up naked in the corner, which is actually, ironically, how Rob started on the show.
That was just in my trailer before being called to set, and I was crying.
Okay, weird. But Jack is half Lucifer, half mortal, so there's a lot of moral ambiguity at play here. Andrew, you want to talk about that? I mean, how's this character going to play into the season, and how do you think it'll develop over time?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you mentioned, Rich, most of how we see the character is naked. And I think it's an important element to add, Dynasty's coming on, we have to compete. That's just the way I look at it.
And if you were to die at the end of season 12, like somebody on this stage, would you come back naked?
I mean, I don't know that we can afford the blur effects. Honestly, it's just...
Oh, you mean because it's like so much of the screen would have to be...
Yeah. No,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've been told by hair and makeup. So...
Well,
I know what you mean, because you'd have not just one blur, you'd have to have 3 blurs.
Yeah. Well, actually 4 because of the third nipple.
'Cause that's right.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I think it's great to have this conversation because we all know Jared's been very honest on his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And I think this is a healthy forum to discuss this.
I thought that was so brave.
So brave. So accurate. So brave.
I will say that after, and I had several friends and family members call me to say, like, dude, are you twittering some stuff? And I was like, huh? So to tell you from my end of the story, we're in Chicago a week ago, and I go to bed about 11 o'clock, and I get some sleep, and I wake up at 4 o'clock to go to the bathroom or something, and I have all these your Twitter was favorited, your Twitter was liked, your Twitter was favorited, your Twitter was my Twitter, did I tweet something? And then I have
Your tweet is really gaining traction.
Yeah, your tweet is gaining traction. Make a comment. And I was like, and so then I have one text message, not from Jensen, not from Misha, not from Bob or Andrew or Richard or Rob. It's from Matt Cohen. And I was like, Matt, is he okay? Because he's not the type to text me at 2 in the morning. So I open it up, and it just says, dude, Twitter. I was like, huh. So I opened my Twitter.
I didn't realize he's fluent in ACLs. That's
Dude, Twitter.
It may
like
have
it.
been. It may have been Twitter, dude. Or dude, it was, but those 2 words. I don't remember the order. And so then I opened my Twitter, and I'm like, that's the last time I hand my phone over to Misha Collins.
In fairness, I think it was 2 years ago at Comic-Con that I posted. You were like, you grabbed my phone when we were signing, and apparently I posted on Twitter, I hate fans. which is a great thing to
Whoa.
post at Comic-Con. And for the rest of the signing, everybody was coming up like, ugh.
We hate you too, Misha. That's right. I remember when panic set in because we do a signing after this, and we're signing and you pass and you sign and you pass, and then Misha, upon realizing that, so he had just put his phone on the table and it was on, and I was like, put it back. Upon I think like you got a bunch of phone calls or something. He was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I had to like excuse himself.
Yeah, you've done that to almost all of us, and that's why we were high-fiving when we saw that tweet. We're like,
Yeah.
yes, someone finally got him.
Yeah, that's why you didn't get a lot of warning phone calls from friends.
But bringing it back, so Jensen, how will Dean and Sam react to this Jack character?
Differently.
Dude.
Cool.
I told you they were going to make this hard.
I didn't.
I begged you not to ask them questions.
Go to your
No, but
notes. Go to
there-
your notes.
There's been a lot of build-up for this. I mean, the whole season's been dealing with
There
Kelly
is.
Klein and
It's obviously the mom being gone and Cass and all of this kind of turmoil that the brothers find themselves in. Now they have this person, this thing, this entity, and in Dean's mind, just simply has to go. But because technically it's half human, the ever optimistic Sam Winchester
Did you say half,
thinks, what's that?
half female?
Half human.
Half human. Got it. There's a weird. I'm in a weird echo spot, so I'm catching.
It's a vortex. So there
half female.
we have two different ideas of how to handle the situation.
By the way,
does Jared know we're doing a panel? I'm just
say it again.
Do you
somebody
know that we're
wake
doing
up
a panel
Padalecki.
for Comic-Con right now? Okay. Anyway,
but
I
yeah,
tried.
Yeah, but that character could go either way. It could be evil. Could be.
have Sam and Dean encountered somebody with these sort of characteristics before? The sort of the half Lucifer, half human. Have they wrestled this moral dilemma previously?
To this degree, it's kind of difficult, right? I'm trying to think of the last time.
Well, no, this is the spawn of the devil, so
Right. Yeah.
Which I don't know why anyone would want to see how that works out. You know what? Let's see how this plays out. What could possibly go wrong?
It's a.
Dean's a little more practical. I have an idea. Let's shoot it in the face.
And Sam's a bit like that. Might just piss it off. I think.
Well, at least we'll know.
That's true. That's true. I think Sam. Kudos to Bob and Andrew and the rest of our writers. It's a neat. We've danced around this a couple times, but not to this degree. The whole nature versus nurture argument, and so it is. Jack certainly is half Lucifer, but he's also half Kelly Klein, right? And Kelly Klein was a good person, and so Sam, ever the optimist, is trying to figure out what to do, and Dean, being Dean, shoot first, ask questions later, has his idea.
Right.
Some things never change.
And Andrew, is that a journey that Jack himself will go on in his sort of development and trying to figure out which side he's on?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the character, obviously, as Jared Jensen talked about, they've got strong opinions. I think from Jared's point of view, especially from Sam's point of view, Sam was a character who was, as we remember from way, way back, destined to do very bad things. And
Whoa.
yeah, and still may. A lot of years left. But he's some or not. I don't really know. But the idea that I think Sam can kind of put himself in those shoes a little bit better, and then for Jack himself, he's someone who I think is struggling with that and will continue to struggle with that in our version of Hell's My Two Dads.
And then Misha, so you've been doing a lot of gardening, or?
Yeah, so you can you can't plant tomatoes until July, so that's what I'm getting into now.
Cool.
That's great.
Great.
Anywho,
Thanks, buddy. And so, mom is trapped in this other dimension, this other world.
Right. And so much, Robbie, of this season. So much of this season, there was the Mary character, wonderfully played by Samantha Smith. You guys had serviced that story really well, and the way Sam reacted to Mary, and the way Dean was reacting to Mary, and how you guys were coping with her return, dealing with the British men and letters. Now that she's had this experience and is now, made this move to try to do the right thing, and now finds herself on the other side of this wall, in this hole. How do Sam and Dean differ in their approach to how to handle that situation?
Dean thinks she's gone, that she went through the rift. It's a rift, Rich, not a hole.
Oh.
I was just making sure you read the notes.
Okay. She went through the rift, the hole, with Lucifer, and the whole rift closed. And Dean is pretty sure that that's curtains for Mom. And while he's bereft over that, he's ready to accept that. Sam thinks, no, she went through alive. We've been on the other side of this rift. He's holding on to the fact that she could still be alive, and that's a bit of that's a problem between the guys, because Sam's mission in the beginning part of season 13 is let's find Mom, and Dean's idea is we have bigger fish to fry. Mom's dead. You're just going to have to come to that realization. Spoiler alert, Mom is not dead.
I told you.
Great.
I told you.
Come with me.
Dean's kind of a Debbie Downer at the beginning of the season. Deanie Downer.
Wah,
Downer. Wah, wah, wah. Let's kill Jack. Mom is dead. Everybody's dead. Yeah, good. I didn't know Mom wasn't dead. I like that.
Read the scripts.
He hasn't read a script since season 7.
That's what we're on, right? Is season 7?
And so in the Mary storyline, by the way, Mary, who is with Lucifer on the other side of the rift, she's got her own journey. She's got her own challenges to face now. And Andrew, how do we see that playing out for her?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of Mary, obviously she came back with a very, at first very kind of spun out. She didn't ask to come back. She was brought back. She was sent back. It took her a while to find her footing, I think, with the world at large and more specifically with her sons. And by the end of the season, I think everyone was in a very good place. She's been lost. Over on the other side, here she's got someone who, as far as Mary's concerned, she made this sacrifice knowingly. She went through that rift knowingly. Like, I don't know that she is necessarily, that's something she's kind of, I think, comes to terms with. That doesn't mean she's not active. That doesn't mean she doesn't want to make this world a better place, because the world she's gone into is far worse than the world in which our guys live day to day. And then I also think, one of the interesting things about Jack is that, as we know, the only person that's ever opened a rift to this world is Jack. So if Jack is the key to getting back, one, how do you convince him to do that? Can you convince him to do that? And do you want him to do that? Because you're just opening a hole to a world which has been ravaged by the apocalypse. You hope that door is one way, but maybe it's not. And so I think those are all things everyone's kind of struggling with.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point that she did it knowingly. So Mary sacrificed herself for the good of the Winchesters. Yes. Crowley sacrificed himself for the good of the Winchesters. Did anybody else die in the finale?
Not that I'm
maybe
aware of.
Did not sacrifice themselves for somebody else's good?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm willing to read recaps, Twitter, if you want to let me know. But no, I mean, a big part of the final episode was you had all these people, and really a lot of part of the season, you had a lot of people who came to, and it was really about how Sam and Dean impacts each other, but also other people. So you saw how they impacted other hunters. You saw how they impacted, Crowley and Rowena and Castiel. And so a lot of what ended up being our last 2 episodes was a lot of people, Jody Mills, a lot of people stepping up and essentially, helping the Winchesters in the way the Winchesters helped so many people. And that was really important to us, is to build a sense of community, and then because it's supernatural, you tear it all down. But, over the course of the season, that was really what it was about.
And then speaking of this apocalyptical?
I
Apocalyptical?
think that's a piece of exercise equipment.
I spent 20 minutes on the apocalyptical this morning. Speaking of this apocalyptical world, what happened was, so we saw Bobby, who...
Yeah.
And what this other world seems to do is it's another alternate reality. So it's
Right.
Bobby, but it's Bobby living a different life. He doesn't know the boys.
Right.
So is this world, could that open up for other characters to reappear in the same way?
Did you have anybody specific?
I mean,
Well,
there's
like,
not like.
This sounds more like a pitch than a question.
Well, I'm just curious. Does God, like, where does God? Am I coming back, Bob?
You are God of the universe, but it's a really big universe. You know, it's possible. You know, it depends how you do here today.
Oh crap!
Gabriel? Yeah, I don't think so.
Come on!
We'll just have to, we'll do our own spin-off, Rich.
Fine, Bobo.
So that world could open up to bring some other characters back.
It
like
definitely could, yes. Yeah. By the way, because we love to tease Rich, and we don't know if Gabriel, I mean, we love that character. But I think for first and second time directing, Richard Spade's direction on this show has been just fantastic, and we're just so happy with Rich.
Thank you. A huge compliment. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Can you tease any characters that will be back, or no? We're not doing that yet.
I think.
By the way, but by tease, he means give them a hard time. Really?
Just poke at people. I'm like, no. I think we've got some cool characters coming back both in our world and in the Apocalypse world. So that's the fun of it. Is we've got some people coming back like Missouri Mosley is going to come back for us for the first time in a long time. Obviously Jody will be back for us and some other people like that. And then in Apocalypse world, without getting into spoilers, some people who have been long dead on our show are less dead in Apocalypse world and much different characters. It's not as dead.
That's
Levels
exciting.
of deadness.
It's more injured.
Yeah.
That's promising. So my phone number
That was
hasn't changed.
shifty,
Just FYI.
Andrew. Very shifty.
We're talking about a show that has been on since half this room wasn't born. I mean, we're going 13 years into a show. And the thing I think that makes Supernatural special in the world of television, for not just us who are involved with it, but also for you folks who watch it, is that it continues to reinvent itself. It continues to be interesting, tell fun stories, tell engaging stories that are emotional and connect with the audience. And that's all, if I may say, driven by the fabulous performances of you two gentlemen who continue to do outstanding work. Misha came along and slowed it down for a while, but now he's gone. And we can get back to the business of making quality TV. So for your journey,
This
If we
joke
may-
is
if
not
we-
funny anymore.
this is the best day of my life. But if we can be reflective for a moment about, and Bob, you've been with the show since its beginning as well. So the question's for all three of you. Season 1 to now, how has your experience been, and how has your relationship with both the show and you, in your case, Jensen and Jared, your characters, how has it evolved over this long period of time?
That's an easy question. How was the last 13 years of your life?
Great, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Thank you, good night.
Thank you. Good night. That it is hard to speak quickly about the experience that we've had. Obviously, it's the longest job I've ever held, and I guess one of many things that I love about doing this job is that we're never doing the same thing twice. Every day is a new experience. We're telling different stories. There's new characters to introduce and old characters to finally get rid of. And
It's that kind of crappy acting that got you fired.
It's been wonderful. The experience has been great. We've had our ups and downs. We've had great seasons. We've had maybe not so great seasons. It's an ebb and flow, and but I think through it all, it has been wonderful, and I'm very proud to be a part of something that's lasted this long.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with everything he just said. I think for me also, it was kind of specifically, and it's difficult for me to identify the chicken and the egg. Not that I would even know which came first, anyways.
Well, one is a bird,
There's some. One is
and the other
little Twitter
doesn't
thing.
really move.
That's right. Got it. That's what it is.
Glad to help.
No, it's a. But Jared was a lot. Jared and Sam were sort of similar season one, in that I was like, man, this is hard work. Like this is difficult to be up in Vancouver. I had no friends. I was living in a hotel room. We didn't know if we had a job for more than 2 months because we hadn't been picked up for a season. We hadn't even really aired yet, so we didn't have any. We didn't have this family, which is badass, that we have now to support us. Yeah, and there was nothing. Twitter didn't exist. I don't mean maybe it existed, but it wasn't like, oh, well, I'm getting support from my friends that aren't here.
iPhones didn't exist.
iPhones, that's right, came out like season 1, right? I met my wife on the show. We have 3 kids.
Right.
She's here somewhere. She's somewhere out there.
Same.
But it's changed a lot.
Stop touching
Can I
me.
add one thing, even though I wasn't there at the beginning? We were talking on, I know I'm new and now I'm gone, but we were talking about this on Friday. Someone asked us about a question about sort of the eventual demise of the characters and the end of the show. And Jensen started talking about a vision that he had had, a dream that he had had about, about the demise, about the end of the show, and about Sam dying. And the amazing thing about it was when he was describing this dream, the 3 of us kind of got choked up because we all know these characters so well. They're so a part of us that we have actually sort of taken them into our own emotional family, if that makes any sense. They feel real to us. And so the thought of Jensen as Dean losing Sam is actually like heartbreaking, which is kind of amazing. And that could only possibly happen, I think, with a show that's been running for this long.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
And Bob Singer, one of the great consistent through lines through the whole show has been the voice and talents of Bob Singer, who's been writing stories, directing episodes since the show started. And for you, you worked with Eric Kripke, then you shepherded in Sarah Gamble, Jeremy Carver, and now Andrew Dabb as showrunners, and you have been consistently there guiding the show. How has your experience evolved over time, and has that been, because you've done it seamlessly from the outside, is it challenging to be sure that those voices stay consistent while also bringing in their own flavors to the show?
Well, I think like all of us, we didn't expect it to go on this long. My hair was dark when we started, and it's not anymore. Working with Eric was a real gift to me, and we hit it off right from the beginning and had a wonderful working relationship. Eric had his 5-year plan and left after 5 years, and I was not sure whether I wanted to stay. The next 2 years were a little difficult for me. Again, not sure I wanted to stay. Then Jeremy came in, and Jeremy and I co-wrote his first script on Supernatural, and then he went off to do something else, and we brought him back. But throughout it all, it's always been, this ability to keep the show fresh. That if we felt like we were doing something, retreading something, no one involved in the show had any interest in doing that. Andrew, what year did you come with us, Andrew?
Season 4.
Season 4. So when Jeremy left, a rookie, a newcomer. When Jeremy left and Andrew inherited the mantle, I must say that I thought last year and so far this year is one of the most fun years I've had doing the show. Working with Andrew is a real gift. And so you know, I'm still enthused about the show. If I wasn't, I wouldn't do it anymore. But yeah, so it's been a great ride, one unexpected, but great. Yeah.
That was what was remarkable when I went back at the end of season 11, and you go up a couple times a year to direct. Like, the enthusiasm is all still there. The writing is still 100%. You know, and these two, you guys are doing work that I'm like, wow, it's season 11, 12, 13 of a show. You think people are phoning it in. You're absolutely not phoning in. That's why it's consistently great.
It's a show's about family, but the show is a family. It's clear when you see it from the outside, when you visit as an actor, when you visit as a director, from the whole crew, from you guys all the way down the list and in LA. It's a family, and it's a impressive thing to witness. Yeah. Truly is. And the other member of the family, by the way, the fans. So now let's take some, Bobby. I mean,
yeah, let's open it up.
Let's take questions from the fans. All right, let's do it.
Hello. First, I wanted to say, love the show. My question isn't really a question. My daughter has social anxiety, which is why I'm speaking for her. But we just wanted to say thanks both to Jared, well, actually all you guys, for all the different, what's the word?
Charities
and different,
Causes.
Thank you. Organizations that you guys have set up for people like me who can't talk, or her with her social anxiety. But I can see it from her or through her, how she's grown just from the support that you give, even not knowing her personally. And then one side note, Misha, thank you for the donuts this morning. They were awesome.
Nice to meet you. What's your daughter's name?
Kaylee.
Kaylee, nice to meet you. That's very, very brave of you to stand up in front of thousands of people. Very proud of you.
But let's be honest. It's embarrassing to see Misha suck up that hard to the fan base. That's not going to change the outcome.
Each donut had, did you look at the wrapper? It said, please, if you take this donut, please tweet to Andrew Dabb to bring me back. It was actually a binding contract. If you take this donut, you have to send him hate mail until I come back.
Yeah. And I don't know, did you notice the billboard coming into town? Save Castiel?
Hi, my name's Emily. I'm a huge fan. I had a question about what was your favorite props, Jensen, Misha, and Jared, like throughout the show. And yeah, I really love you guys.
Love you back. Thank you.
Favorite props throughout the show?
Favorite prop? Baby is not a prop. No. No, baby is a part of me. We get to play and use so many tools, weapons. I will say that one of the weapons that we play around with quite often, the Angel Blade, is one of my favorites because of the weight of it, and I just constantly am spinning it in my hand, and it kind of reminds me, it's the little, what are they called?
Fidget spinners.
Fidget spinner.
It's the original one.
The original fidget spinner.
OG fidget spinner.
My favorite prop is Dean.
And that's why he's no longer with us.
I think the hair.
Yeah,
he does have he has the best toupee in the business. It truly is.
Look at it.
I'm gonna say the Demon Blade, the Ruby's Demon Blade, not for obvious reasons. But there's another funny thing that I don't know if y'all know this. So some of y'all have seen the replica Demon Blades, the Ruby's knife. It was actually put together incorrectly when it first got on camera. The handle is improperly, it's upside, like the handle should be the backwards way compared to where the serration is and the blade is. And for some reason, I found that out early on, and it always occurs to me whenever I hold it, because when you hold it, not like there's scenes where I have to pull it out of my back pocket or something, and you put it in a certain way, expecting the handle to fit ergonomically a certain way, and then you pull it out, and the blade is facing me, and I'm like, I'm going to do that again. And I switch it around, and then pull it out, and it's ready. But I really dig the Demon Blade.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Hi guys, my name's Amanda, and I saw that you were playing video games yesterday during press, and I was just wondering who won.
We didn't finish. They pulled us away before we could finish. It was the new Mario Kart, and I was winning,
He
which
won.
is why I immediately left.
He,
You always leave in the lead. That's
yeah, don't leave on a miss. He was winning. None of us had played it yet, and I think, and in fairness, I took over Misha's controller when Jensen was winning, so I blame Misha for most everything, but specifically for yesterday.
Hashtag blame Misha.
Let's get that trending.
You?
Hi, my name is Bibiana, and I wanted to ask, in the episode Yellow Fever, people died from their fears. So I was wondering, what would you die of, basically?
What fears do we have that we would die from? I don't have fear.
Bears.
I'm just kidding.
I guess for me it would be just being.
Dab went heart disease.
I mean, statistically speaking,
Liver
it's the most
failure.
likely.
For me, I think it would be just being like it's like a classic sort of fear, but it would be being up on stage with in front of a large number of people with my friends making fun of me.
In a little boy chair.
In a tiny, tiny chair.
Just a bunch of chairs collapse over on you.
I don't know
What fear would you die of? I'm not going to say that.
No.
Wow. And he does this, and he didn't even get a donut. Bob Singer never got a donut.
Oh, this is. Oh, man, I tell you.
Bob, thank you.
Misha, you are so fired by accepting that gesture.
By the way, that's all for today, guys. Thanks.
You walked right into that. So fear, where'd you land on Padalecki? Where are you in the fear bit?
I don't know. I would say
Phobia?
this about 13 years ago, this probably would have killed me. This is not. I mean, we're up here talking and having a good time and making jokes, but it's daunting. I mean, there are a lot of people in this audience, and to get up and try to speak eloquently and not trip over your words or just not trip can be pretty frightening. So I've been able to face that and kind of get over it, and now I'm here, and there isn't much fear. But years ago, that certainly would have been one for me.
How about Daddy, I think I'm in love? JJ, like first date, daughter's first date.
Right.
Yes. Boys in my daughter's life.
Yeah,
Fear number one.
I get that.
What is it? What is it? The guns don't kill people. Dads with pretty little girls kill people.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You.
Hi, I am going to be the last question, so I hope it's good. My name is Megan. This is Jensen.
Jensen.
And this is Baby.
Yes.
We don't know yet. And so
Is Baby going to be named Baby? Please name Baby, Baby.
possibly
How old is Jensen?
a year and a half.
Nice. Well, Bud, that name served me well. I hope it serves you well. What's his middle name?
Michael,
Michael.
Archangel. But
Of course.
I had to ask my question. They're yelling at me.
Okay, sorry. Question.
Which character do you feel would make the most interesting spin-off?
No. No, sir.
Well, we very much feel that we have some really, really strong female characters on the show. Jody Mills, Claire Novak, Donna Hanscom, and Alex Jones. And we feel they would make an extremely exciting addition to the Supernatural universe.
There we go. Gentlemen, here we are. The end of yet another panel. San Diego Comic-Con.
Somebody literally goes, "What?"
Yeah.
It ends?
Certainly shocked.
I know. So,
Any parting words for the people gathered here today?
Yes. Thank y'all so much. And I think we've kind of touched on it before, but we exist like this because y'all exist like that. So this is 50-50 here. We're the ones on stage, but this is as much y'all as it is us. So thank y'all for giving us the chance to play these characters and tell this story.
ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you guys, everybody.
say hello and goodbye to Andrew Dowd,
Bob Singer,
Misha Collins,
Jared Padalecki,
and Mr. Jensen Ackles.